Hello, my name is Courtney Williams. I am a rehabilitation teacher. I work with visually impaired individuals in the home, helping them become more independent in their daily activities, completing tasks such as cooking, cleaning, managing their household, reading their mail, stuff like that. In addition, I am totally blind myself. A lot of the individuals that I work with are dealing with the loss of their vision at different levels, or the individuals are totally blind. What I'm here to show you today is something that I enjoy doing, home improvements. I've been doing it for years now. It comes naturally to me. Today, I am laying laminate flooring in my downstairs space, and I'll show you the area I'm working with. Starting in the left-hand corner, I'll be laying this laminate flooring from left to right. All right, this is Courtney Williams. I'm back. So the first thing I want to show you is the area I'm working with here. I'm gonna pan my camera around. I've removed the carpet.
0 people.
In areas here and cleared it and moved all my furniture to this side of the room. As you can see, I left a little carpet here. I'm gonna leave this area with carpet on it. And my back is to the carpeted area. All of this area here is what I'm putting 12 mil
0 people.
laminate flooring on. It has the attachment on the back of the flooring. I'll show you that here in a little bit. Here's where I've started in the left-hand corner. Hopefully I'm panning my camera correctly. These boards all the way around should be about 1/4 of an inch from the wall. So there's plastic spacers that you use.
0 people.
So this is my first row. Connected all these boards together. Then when you get down here to the far right-hand corner, you have to cut off a piece to put in that corner. And then I am going to start my next
0 people.
with the piece that I cut off. This is the backing that's attached to this. Typically you have to have underlayment to prevent moisture and all of that. So this board here, I will be starting my next row with
0 people.
piece right here. So this is a piece that I cut off earlier that I had a small portion of it I used to finish the first row. Then I brought this piece back to the left. This is the piece that I'm gonna use. There's a little tapping block that goes on the edge. After I connect it in there, I can tap that in.
0 people.
Next video, I probably will show you the process of how I mark the board when I get to the end of the row with the utility knife and use my laminate cutter to cut the board. All right, this is Courtney Williams. I'm back. I had gotten busy doing the flooring. I'm gonna show you my progress, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna show you how I mark the board so I can tell how to make the cut with my laminate cutter. So let me just show you the progress of my floor here from left to right, what I've done. Like I mentioned earlier, I started in the left-hand corner and went to the right, and the piece that I had left over that I had to cut when I got to the wall, I started the next row with, which I'm gonna show you how to cut that here in just a second. Here is my laminate cutter that I use. I have one that will cut 8 to 10 mil. I think I paid like $65 for it. The boards I was cutting was 12 mil thick. This will do up to 16. And I actually bought this one on Amazon. I think it was like 138 bucks. And it came with the spacers and the tapping block that you'll see me using here in a little bit. Also, I removed the trim on the wall that has the drywall. Before I started, sometimes you don't have to. Then you can just put cord around. But I removed it. And then down here by the doorway, I had to take a saw and cut the bottom of the door jamb off so I can get the flooring underneath there. So I did that on both sides of the doorway. I cut the door jamb away. So I'm almost to the end. I got a transition strip that I'll have to put down later for the doorway between the flooring and the tile. And I mentioned I would show you how I marked the board for the last one. So after putting down a whole board, staggering them, I have this portion left of this row. So I'm gonna have to cut this board here. So instead of laying it the way that it should lay, since I'm gonna have to cut it, typically this end will connect right here. So I'm gonna flip it on its back side. And I'm gonna lay this alongside of this. And I'm gonna get an approximation because I'm running out of room here today on the way I normally line it up. So I have it against the wall. And I usually will take a utility knife and mark the spot that I need to cut and this is not going to be the straightest, but we'll get it close. So I'll mark this board on the edge right here. So I got a little mark on it right now, make it bigger so I can actually feel it right here. So, and sometimes I may get it right, I may have to trim it off, but I'm gonna go over to the laminate cutter. So with this laminate cutter, it has a blade, kind of reminds me of a big, huge paper cutter. So I'll usually try to line it up underneath the little blade that comes out. There's a blade that goes straight across when I slide this board in here. I usually will pull this bar down a little bit to see where I'm at compared to that mark. Just being careful with your finger underneath there, because that blade is pretty sharp. And of course, I cut myself from time to time. All right, so I have it approximately where I want it. So you just push the handle down, it cuts it. A lot less dust when you're using this compared to just using a saw. And let me check to see how I did. I'm probably gonna have to trim it again, but let's see if the first time was a charm. Hey, I may have done something correct. pretty close, and I have a little space there. So these boards connect together, and your spacer kit comes with a tapping block that you can put on the edge of the wood. So at the same time, while I'm holding that, I'm holding it down with my foot a little bit, trying to get it where I can feel that the seams are going to come together. Once I start tapping this in, I'm going to take my hammer, tap that in, and then I'll go all along sliding this tapping block. Check and make sure I don't have that much of a space in between the boards. And making sure where the two boards connect together, make sure there's not a big space in between here is crucial, because water can get in there, but seems like that's together well. But I want to take this tapping block and make sure I tap that in, because it makes sure the board gets combined there. So you want to take a look here. That piece that I had went in there along the wall here. I left about 1/4 inch. So if the board starts expanding, do a weather, that kind of thing, it'll have room to move. The last row that I have to do is going to be a little tedious because those boards are about 4 foot long. I'm gonna have to cut those boards the long way, several of them, and fit them in here, and then put a transition strip in between the wood and the carpet. And that will finish up my project. I was thinking black flooring at one time was kind of weird to have black flooring, but everyone tells me it looks nice. So that's my flooring project. I've laid laminate flooring 2 or 3 times. It's not hard. After you do it one time, you'll be a pro at it. And I will see you next time.